European regulation has made a significant contribution to the transformation of the railway systems in Europe. So far, it has not enforced a separation of infrastructure by law. However, there are now forces within the EU Commission that demand a stricter separation of the railway infrastructure. This would mean that rail infrastructure and train operators would be the responsibility of two separate entities. This is already true for several countries such as the Netherlands, Sweden and the UK. We believe that this question is very important for the future of the railway industry. It determines the next step of the transformation of railway companies to more customer-oriented and more efficient companies. And in addition, it has a significant influence on the quality of rail transport, which both in passenger and in cargo traffic is important for our economic development. Supporters of the separation of rail infrastructure assert that competition on rail is only possible if the infrastructure is independent. The objective is to improve quality and efficiency of rail transportation. However, our analysis came to different conclusions. First, the separation of infrastructure did in most countries not lead to superior increases in quality or efficiency. An integrated railway can act as a best systems integrator. Customer demand, infrastructure capacity and rolling stock can be best aligned within one company. Separating the infrastructure company from the railway also increases the number of interfaces and leads to additional transaction costs. In Japan, there are 3 integrated passenger railways that are listed on the stock exchange and operate very profitably. They have increased their revenues and their quality as well as efficiency significantly in the last decade. We see a similar situation in the US and Canada for cargo railroads. In Europe, the German and Swiss railways are integrated and have increased their performance in the last years significantly. And by the way, competition in these countries is more intense than in some countries with vertical separation, such as the Netherlands. First of all, we think that the US and Japan should keep their well-working integrated railway systems. As for Europe, first, there should be integrated railways that own and operate their infrastructure and run the trains. The infrastructure should be located in a separate division and should conclude public service agreements with the government. Second, a regulator should safeguard that other railways, public or private, are allowed to run trains on the infrastructure of the integrated railway. And in addition, the regulator should guarantee fair and competitive track access fees. EU regulation should try to make rail more competitive and more attractive by harmonizing technical standards and regulation across all EU member states. And this is actually the most important factor for attractiveness of rail transport.